Hello, this is William Bowman, and I'm recording this video for Candace over at Ruff Puppy Boarding and Training. Thank you so much, Candace, for allowing me to record this video for you. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I want to explain exactly what I found on your website and show you what to change in order to get better results and more volume heading your direction. So in order to do that, I want to explain some things so that you'll have an understanding of how to implement the changes and be able to tell when those changes are actually working, because honestly, results is what we're after here, right? So I'm going to be covering the volume of clients looking for your services in your specific area, what your top online competitor is doing to win that volume right now, and things you can do this exact moment on your site to start winning those clients in the future. So starting out, I just want to say I do love your site. I do love this interactive video here at the top. It does catch your attention. I think that the email, again, was probably the best email that I've seen in the industry so far. But anyways, I don't want to go in so much into, nitpicking at the website. I think it's a good website. The only thing that I would mention is that, you do need some more content, and maybe some more pages to go along with it. The reason being, and there is a specific reason for this, is because you want to be able to put more keywords on not only your front page, but also any of your back pages. And the preferable amount of keywords, just words in general of content on any page that is supposed to be a landing page should be anywhere between 1,000 to 1,500 for that home page, and about 300 to 500 for any of the back pages. So like if you wanted to do like a separate page for training, a separate page for daycare, and a separate page for boarding. But the reason being is those keywords are extremely important to sprinkle those in 4 or 5 times. And, a keyword is simply just what somebody's going to throw in to Google in order to find the service, right? So when you throw this in, what you're going to get, typically it's at the top, is you actually get ads usually. I'm glad looks like nobody's trying to pay for ads right now, which is actually great because a lot of people will skip past them. But this next area is great. And if you don't have this set up, I recommend that you please go out and go do this. If you listen to one thing in this video, it's go set up your GMB. It's called Google My Business. It will allow you to set up the name of your company, the location, all of that. You'll be able to start getting reviews and get a link to your website so that you can have a place where people feel comfortable finding your reviews. They feel like they aren't adulterated by it in any way, and that they can get an honest look at what your company has to offer and how your company has been able to take care of customers in the past. So definitely go ahead and do that. You just go to googlemybusiness.com or just Google My Business and you should be able to find it and set up that. It can be configured so that you're in the top 3 depending on geographic location, but I don't really want to get into that. Preferably, what I want to talk to you about is what's called the organic search area. So this organic search area is, you can only end up here based off of you typing in these, like a specific set or sequence of words. So you can't pay to be here. So I wanted to open up your very first competitor here. So if we pop over, it's Killeen. It's the United Canine Academy in Killeen Cove. When we look, we see that they do have quite a bit of content. They actually hid some content down here with a different menu system. If you come over here, you can actually see a different menu system that's pretty much the same, but looks like this is a bigger company, right? They have all of these different areas. So they probably have, other portions of their site that's driving power to this one. But I'm going to show you what's underneath the hood. So when we look over here, we're going to see that this is for their entire domain. This domain isn't really that powerful, and I'll get into all these numbers here in a second, but I wanted to make a differentiation here, that the fact that this is for their domain, and what you compete on for ranking is the specific URL. So they're not doing so hot on their URL. They're pretty much just ranking because their domain has so much power. But it can easily be beaten. This isn't actually really high, even for all of those sites. This is what's called the UR and the DR. So both of these numbers are 0 to 100. The higher the number, the better. So a UR is a URL rating. It's kind of like the trustworthiness of the site. The DR is a domain rating. It's kind of like the power, the reputation of the site. These two numbers are not very high, especially for taking first spot on Google for the organic search. I would kind of expect those to be 10 to 15 each minimum for the first spot. So it's kind of interesting to me that they're up here. It must mean that there's not very many local companies that are in this industry that know how to bring a UR and DR up. The one way to bring those up is through backlinks. A backlink is simply if, one example is if I'm like writing a blog and I'm saying, oh my goodness, you guys definitely have to go check out Candace over at Ruff Puppy Board and Training. They do the best work in town. My dog is so well behaved now. And they put a link to your site. That is an example of a backlink. Now, backlinks are not all created equally. I noticed that they have like 325, but yet their numbers haven't moved. I've seen, one backlink launch these up really high. I've seen, 10 or 15 backlinks beat 200. It's all about quality over quantity. When you set up a lot of spammy ones, your UR and DR can be very volatile and your page can rank one day and then not rank the next day. So it's really important to just build up quality backlinks. That way you can build these up naturally. And as you build those up, you can rank up higher. So they have 50 different sites sending them a total of 325. So you can tell that a lot of these sites are sending them multiple. That's usually an indicator that these aren't the best backlinks. They're probably not very well made, which explains their low numbers. But let's go and see what they're trying to rank for. So these are the keywords that they're trying to rank for. So service dog training looks like they're 1,300. They're ranked position 10. 1,300 is the amount of people that will search it on average every single month, and this is their position. Now, I do want to notate, service dog training, if you think about that, that could be anywhere in the United States. Like, I know that they had a lot of locations in Texas, but somebody in Chicago could search that, and they're number 10. So if somebody finds them in Chicago or Florida or, Utah, what are the odds that it's actually going to bring them actual business? So what I like to do is tell, anybody that I'm helping out to focus on buyer intent keywords. So dog training, Killeen, Texas, that that you have a location nearby. There's 90 searches for that on average every single month. They're position 1. And take over any of these areas that you're willing to service, and there's strategies to take over multiple different areas. But right now I'm just looking at Killeen, right? Dog training, Killeen, Texas. Dog training, Killeen. Those are two different words and they have two different volumes and they stack. So there is volume of people searching for your services in your area every single month. You just have to find out which specific keywords to grab. Those were two examples there. When we pop over to yours, what we're seeing is that there's only one backlink. Historically, you had 24, but your UR and DR haven't moved. So I don't know if maybe the backlinks that you had previously were, weren't the best quality, but it won't matter what the quality of his backlinks if you're not trying to rank for any keywords. So if I had to suggest 3 things, the first thing is get your content created, content, so that you can get your keywords to start ranking. Then start creating some good quality backlinks. That way you can start building your UR and DR. These aren't that high, so you could probably take their spot not without a problem. The last thing is if you don't have your GMB set up, please go and set that up because that can bring clients volume. I have seen it bring people volume. So if you have any questions, feel free to give me a call. I would love to have some feedback from you, just whether or not this information was easy to follow. But thank you so much for your time, and I hope you have a great day. Goodbye.